Smart George, a Kingston-based organization that provides financial management skills training, is dedicated to educating young people about money management in today's world. Working with both high school-age students and their parents, Smart George strives to counsel kids about debt and personal finance. PACTV Community News visited with their founder, Daniel Shearer, to learn more.
What got me started with Smart George Outreach was a connection with Crossroads for Kids here in Duxbury, where we ran programming with a trial round of their kids who are teens starting to prepare for college, and working with that group toward their financial intelligence education. The way we work with Smart George Outreach is, it literally is that. It's an outreach program where it's essentially a traveling roadshow. You know, we go with a computer, projector, and screen, and we can provide the education at organizations that already have a captive audience of kids, let's say between the ages of 16 and 20 is sort of my the center starting point with the kids. I do work with kids who are older than that, but that's where we really want to get kids started in the education. So we will go to organizations, and I use Crossroads as the best example where we've been very successful with our kids, to present the programming in a place where they're already comfortable and gathered. And that really is how we interact. We can move around as needed, whether it's into a school system or you know, a day activity facility, something like that. One of the big challenges that kids are also facing today is that as they begin to get older and are looking at college and getting into college, they are faced with the marketers from all the bankers at trying to offer them credit cards and such, and kids have no experience with it and don't understand the implications of every decision that they make when they start to buy pizza, buy the goods at the school stores. As they begin to build the credit levels on their cards, they don't really know what they're doing when they have to manage that. And so it's critical for kids to begin to self-educate. They've got to read the documentation. They've got to really understand the impact of all the decisions that they're making and how are they going to be paying for their credit card. It's not free money. It's something that they have to pay back, and if they aren't paying it back every month, they're going to be getting charged higher and higher fees. And so that is an enormous challenge, and what we try to do is educate kids within this program specifically on what credit is, how it's measured, who's looking at it, why it's there, all those things that have to do with their security in this field going forward. And we really talk about two things. We talk about credit rating and net worth, and how those two things can interact and play with each other, and what happens when they play nice and what happens when they don't, because those two things impact each other. So this is, again, that greater context is what we try to bring to the program. It's interesting that Smart George is definitely focused on the long term. We want kids to understand that they have to get out of their what I would call a small teenage world where they're captivated by Facebook and the friends around them, and they tend not to be able to. It's a brain functionality thing, right? Frontal lobes, and what are they prepared for? But we try to get them thinking long term, all the way to retirement. We want them to begin to perceive that at some point they're going to be trying to survive post-career. And how are they going to do that? And a big piece of that, the way we tie it in, is we talk about inflation and the cost of things today versus what things are going to cost in the future. And we have an exercise that we run through where we talk about what things were in the past. 60 years ago, what did things look like, and what are they now? And you know, we play some games around that, guessing games, and it's stunning to them to hear where things are going to be if we project numbers based on the inflation rates that we've seen over the past 60 to 100 years, apply that to the future. It's stunning what the numbers are. And so that really wakes them up and gets them thinking about, oh my gosh, how are we going to do that? And it introduces additional conversation and a whole wide other range of topics that we get into.